I feel like my nose is dribbling a bit, so if it drops into this hairy muff thing, then I do apologise. In a race car! What's up guys, welcome back to Real Talk. If you're new to the channel, my name's Christian and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. So the previous video I'd done of the BMW M2 was about the 5 things I hated about it, and as I kind of stressed before, there weren't things that I actually hated, they were just little gripes that just annoyed me on day-to-day use. But in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 reasons why you should buy a BMW M2 Competition or an OG M2, because let's face it, they're absolutely great cars. I could talk all day about why you should buy one, so hopefully if you're in the market looking for one, this video proves helpful. So without further ado, let's jump in the car, let's get this video started. I just love this bloody thing. Oh, I've just come in from filming some outshots. It's so windy and cold right now. I just need a minute. I feel like my nose is dribbling a bit, so if it drops into this hairy muff thing, then I do apologise. And yeah, anyway, I've got a bit of a leaky nose. So today's video, as I've kind of mentioned in the intro, I know the last video I spoke about was the 5 things I hated about the M2 Competition, but I'm going to be talking about the 5 reasons why you should buy a BMW M2 Competition or a BMW M2. There's a lot to like. There are so many things, and each thing that I go into has got like subcategories, if you like. So we'll just jump straight in. Number 1 is value for money. Now what I mean for value for money, I suppose the easiest way I can put it without over talking too much, is what you get for your money. So that is everything: the looks, that is the performance, the refinement, the capability of the car. I don't think for the same money you could get something that's better than this, because this gives you everything you'd want, what any driver would want, sorry. Because you've got the creature comforts, it's quite a prestigious car, it's a nice place to be, it does feel luxurious, but at the same time you've got 400 odd brake horsepower to the rear wheels, which you can absolutely tear around wherever you want to go, you know, and it's a very capable car on one end of the spectrum to the complete opposite. And I just really do think what you get for this car, no other car can match it. Like really and truly, when you think about it, and I know it may sound a bit biased and I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it, but there is no car, in my opinion, that gives you as much as this gives you for the same price. You have to spend a lot more. And a perfect example is a Porsche, a 718, a Cayman, let's say. Let's just say when you go for a Cayman S, you know, that's a lot more money. And really, is there a big difference between the two cars? Not massive. And you're paying 30, 40 grand more. You know, you can pick an OG M2 up now, a decent spec one, between 30 to 35 grand. Like, actually think about that for a second. That is an insane car for the money. You get the power, you get the drive, you get the fun, you get the refinement, and you get the luxurious feel. And if you want to go for an M2 Competition, there's some now which are just below 40, or if you want to get a really nice one, 43 to 45. And yeah, it sounds like a lot of money, but in hindsight, what you get back for it, it's a lot of car for that money. And I really can't think of anything else that comes close to that. So that's the main one, value for money. I think that ties quite nicely into the second point, is the residual value of these cars. If you're looking to get one, whether it be cash, whether it be finance, I wouldn't say, you know, any car does depreciate unless they're special cars, right? normally speaking, a car is a depreciating asset. These hold their value really, really well. So if you're looking to buy the car on finance, for instance, which 90% of people do now, and it's what I do, you'll probably be amazed at how cheap the prices are, because the residual value on that finance package is so high and strong. But even if you're buying the car cash, you don't really need to worry too much about the price absolutely dropping down. I know we're going through a bit of a price boom at the moment, but from my experience, I've always wanted an M2 for a long time. I've always looked at them and they've never really changed in value. They've always floated around that 35k mark for a decent one, 35 to 40. And that's not changed. Yeah, of course, you buy one brand new, it plummets. But once that initial plummet happens, particularly with M2s, they don't really move much. So you can have confidence when buying one that the price isn't going to drop significantly anytime soon. You know, that may change massively when the new M2 comes out, which I'm absolutely buzzing to see. But that really adds to you buying one of these cars, because it's something that I always think about. Is I change my cars frequently and I finance them. Is look, in 2 years' time, if I want to change my car, am I going to be in loads of negative equity? Which, if you know, you know. I'm not going to get into what that is if you don't. But a lot of people who bought these cars on finance, including my previous one, you know, they come out with quite a lot of positive equity, which puts them in a really strong position for their next car. Number 3, bit of a controversial one. Yes, I'm slightly biased, but again, I've had this opinion before I've owned them as well, is the looks. I really, truly think that the M2 competition, whatever M2 you want to look at, is a stunning car. You know, it's very aggressive looking. It's very aggressive looking, first of all. It looks good at any single angle you look at, apart from the cow udder. Right, we could sort that though. Apart from the cow udder, any angle you look at it at, it looks good. It looks beastly, if that makes sense. The nice big wheel arches at the rear, you've got a slight arch at the front, all the little badging, the subtle things that you look at, you can really notice the difference between this and say a normal 2 Series. Whereas some cars, the new Golf R, right, really good car, but it's really hard to distinguish the difference between that and a non-Golf R. Like, the difference isn't great enough for the price that you pay and what you're actually getting over a normal Golf. Whereas this, the looks, I just think it's, I can't get over that. Look, just look how stunning it is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I think it's one of the best looking cars, other than supercars, don't get me wrong, they're stunning. Any sort of car around this price point, which gives you the things that this does, I do think this is probably the best looking. And I do think it's better looking than other M cars. I think it is the prettiest M car that BMW currently do at the moment. And like I said, whatever angle you look at it just looks good. It never looks bad. It never looks bad. I know that's a controversial point and some people are a bit hit and miss with the competition alloys, but I just think it's cool. I just think it's lovely. And that's why I've bought it twice in the same colour. 4. It's really difficult to count and drive, to be fair. Now, the 4th one, we can go into loads and loads and loads, but we'll try and keep it simple. But it's the versatility of the car and the modifications that you can do to these cars, whether that be an OG M2 or an M2 competition. So we'll start with aesthetics, right? For instance, if we look at the Civic Type R that I had, everyone likes to put their own kind of stamp on their own car. You know, we get bored. Car people get bored. We like to make changes. And if you're anything like me, if you get bored enough, you just change your car, right? Not a healthy habit. But we'll start with the aesthetics first of all. You can go to so many places now, like whether it be OEM, whether you go to like Auto ID or R44 Performance, from steering wheels to steering wheel buttons to carbon fiber inlays to Alcantara inlays, and then externally splitters, mirror caps, side skirts, spoilers, exhaust tips, diffusers. You can do so much to these cars to really put your own stamp on it, and it makes a big difference. So like I was saying a second ago, when you compare it to the Type R, it already had all of that on there. There's not really much that you could do without spending big money, like going for new alloys and stuff like that. And you know, alloys are expensive, we know that. But I do think BMW, how you can decorate them, if you like, or how you can modify them, just look-wise, the lists go on and on and on. And you can really personalize them to your own liking, and that's what I like. I do really like that. I know I've not done anything just as yet, and I will be doing lots at some point, but I do just like what you can do to the cars and how much of a significant difference it can make to the road presence. But then when we look at actual modifications from a tuning element or brakes or whatever it may be, there's loads of stuff that you can do as well, and it's not that expensive. You know, the S55 engine is a very capable engine. I know we hear things about the dreaded slip from the crank hub, but you can get big power out of the S55 with very little modifications. And with the OG M2, obviously it requires a little bit more, but again, you can get big power out of these cars for not a massive amount of money. So that's the fourth one. Now, the fifth and final, which is the biggest for me, is the drivability. And I mean, on road, just a little doddle to the shops, or if you want to go all out on a hard drive, or you want to head down to the track, this car out the box is good. The one thing that lets it down is the brakes, which I'm sorting, but that's an easy fix, right? With few modifications, this car could become an absolute track beast as well. And I've taken this car out on track and I've seen how capable it is. And I'm blown away with how versatile it is in that regard, how you can use it as a daily on the roads, go for a nice gentle cruise, gentle drive, and then it just turns into a completely different car when you up the ante and want to fling it around the track. It's just brilliant. It's like a sporty setting. It feels so direct, it feels so planted. You feel like, it's hard to explain. The car kind of fills you with confidence, especially if you're used to a rear-wheel drive car. Now, we all know with the super sports, when it's wet, when they're not warm, it's a bit sketchy, but you get used to that, right? If you're new to the M game and new to this kind of power, I would say take it easy. But when you start learning and understanding the car, it is an extremely capable car and an extremely capable package. And if you just want to relax, just flick it into comfort, put it into auto, comfort steering, different car. To be honest, it still rides a little bit hard. It's not going to feel like a 7 Series, no way. But what do you expect? You can't have the best of both worlds, right? But it feels refined enough. It feels good enough to just, I could easily do a long journey in this car, get out and not really feel phased. It's a little bit firm, that is it. Everything else is easy to drive. You know, if you suffer from like backache, the seats hold you in so well, anyone can drive this car, anyone can. That depends on how hard you can drive it, but if you're just dawdling around, look, it's a piece of cake. It's so refined. It's just a nice cruiser, and look, you don't get masses of miles to the gallon. If you're driving like this, you'll probably get 30, mid-30s. And if you're absolutely hammering it, you'll probably get teens, low teens. But it's so versatile. Look, I'm just poddling along now. Dead quiet, dead easy to drive. The gearbox responds quite well, but then a flick of a button, you know, I'm in a sporty setting, I'm in manual, and I feel like it turns into a bit of an animal, and that's what I love. You can literally have almost the best of both worlds. You can have the luxurious, chilled side of things, but then when you want to open up the old girl, you know, it's quite easy to do so. You know what I mean? I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, you could literally just stick the car in comfort and plod along, and you wouldn't think that you're driving a 400 brake horsepower rear-wheel drive car. You really wouldn't. So to conclude, and kind of back with the first point, I really don't think, and look, comment down below, and I'd love to hear what you guys say. Maybe I've not thought of the right car, but value for money, what this car does in all aspects, you know, the power, the performance, the capability, the way that it looks, the versatility, you know, the way that you can just prod along, and the luxury side of things. Value for money, I don't think you can get a better car. And let me rephrase that. For 40 grand, what else could you get that ticks as many boxes as this does? Generally, I can't think of a car. I really can't. So if you're looking to get an M2, just get one. Just get one. From my kind of experience and when I was looking, that's what I struggled on. And the only way to go after this is a Porsche. And that's big money. Big money. So yeah, that kind of concludes the video. So again, if you're looking to get an M2 or an M2 competition, just just go out and buy one. Just go out and buy one. That is my verdict. Go out and buy one, because you won't regret. You really won't regret getting one. I love this car so much. It makes me smile so much. I can do so much in it. You know, I can take it to the shop if I want to, but then if I want to take it to track, I can just take it to track. It's that simple. It's that easy.
So there you go, guys. Those are the 5 reasons why you should buy a BMW M2. They're absolutely awesome cars. All those 5 points kind of add into one, and I think the easiest way to really explain it, as I said before, was a car that's worth the same amount of money, does it tick as many boxes as the M2 does? And I struggle to find any car that does. So if there is one, please feel free to comment. I'd love to hear what your opinions are. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.